I am Tony Bellew and you are watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word for Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Me, Baz, we're joined by Chris Mason, Hollywood actor, a man who likes to wear very small tops from the 90s.
Still fits.
I bet you weren't even born when that kid came
I
out.
definitely was born. I got to watch this team.
No, I'm not having that.
He's proud
You
of
must
that
have been
shit.
about 4.
Nah, 6, 7.
Oh, like 6, 7. Yeah.
It's the same as 4, really.
Baz was starting to go grey when that kit came out. I remember it. Do you remember when I bought that kit? Remember what I did with it? Come on, you remember. I cut the V out like Gary Speed.
Oh,
remember? Gary Speed.
Yeah.
And it looked boss without that
It
V on it.
looked
It
good
looked
without it,
boss. That was the first thing I did, kicked it out. And we were playing against you and you went, we hated each other and then he went, Gary Speed, tit. Like that. That's what he
I didn't
said.
say Gary Speed's a tit, I said you were a tit.
That's what I meant. Moving on. Anyway. That's what we like to do. We like to throw these nostalgic
Tell
stories.
me that you're throwing the nostalgia in. So
No, I wanted to
You
see if
have
you
to catch me off
remembered. I
guard.
wanted to see if you remembered.
The cut-out
Let's see if you remembered.
The cut-out
We were
view was
playing each other
amazing.
in a friendly.
Wouldn't have been friendly.
It was up at Springwood.
Yeah, I think we
There you go, see? I
I
think
think Martin scored a diving header own goal. I think I got 4. We won about 6.
whatever.
Normally you should
Anyway,
get 4 against
whatever.
this team.
I wasn't a centre back. Yeah,
think you
1-1
left back.
against Spurs. I made a video yesterday, instant reaction video, and I said I walked out happy from this game. Baz, did you walk out of this game happy?
Never walk out happy unless we won.
That's because you go down the escalators because you're in the posh seats, isn't it?
Have you been in the Bullens lately? There's no escalators in the Bullens. Woodison at its best. Did I walk out happy? No. Happier. But I just...
Happy air, isn't he a French player?
Can he play on the left? Or does he play in goal? If he does, sign him, Bobby. Yeah. Especially if he's a goalkeeper. I was happier than I was on Monday, obviously. I'm never happy when Everton haven't won at home because I expect us to win every single home game. So it's always 2 points dropped. And the second half probably was a case of 2 points dropped because in terms of they're a really good side and we had opportunities to win it at the end. So it was much improved because the first half I thought they were really, really good. We struggled to keep with them, I think, in the first half.
I wasn't happy. But like
That's only because it was raining.
No, no, I think hangover or just frustration from the last, 7 games now, something like that. I mean, it's been just so
Well, it's
disappointing.
3 wins in 13.
Yeah, but like I looked the first half and I'm like, we could have been 4-0 down there, easy, and like we would have deserved that. So the second half was a much improved performance, and we got the draw. And you say, game of 2 halves, 1-1 works, but I still think we're getting away with how bad we're being in some games.
The reason I was happy is because if we'd got a draw, if we took the lead and then they equalised, and if we just rolled it out, then I wouldn't have been happy. But the reason I was happy was because in the second half when he made those subs, that's the team I want to see. And we said it on last week's show. I want to see Cleverley on the left. I want to see Bessage at centre midfield. I want to see us be pragmatic, but still have that attacking ability which we've got. And I just thought the last half an hour, it proved to me. Now, proving to me and proving to Roberto Martinez are completely 2 different things. But it proved to me that we can still be an effective side going forward and have that security at the back. So I walked out feeling finally it shows that we can do it. We don't have to be this gung-ho football team. So I don't know whether Roberto Martinez is going to take that on board, but that's why I was happy.
I think just when you look in isolation, it's a decent point. They're a side who you'd have to say at the moment they're in the title race, would you? That's fair to say. They're right up
That's
there.
what everyone else was saying.
So, allegedly they're in the title race, so they're up there. And they did start very well. The first 20 minutes, we couldn't get out of our box, could we? We were just camped. And so in isolation, the point you go, yeah, okay, they done well first half, we done well second half. But like Chris has said, there's got to be a stop point to hanging on. We stopped the rot in terms of it could have been 3 home defeats on the run, which is, for me, not acceptable. This is a very, very, we're led to believe this is a very, very good Everton squad. Yeah. It's full of talent. We know it is. There's a lot of talent in there. But Chris just hit the nail on the head. We could have been 3-0 down again in that opening 20 minutes. Harry Kane, it's a peeler of a shot. It's the inside of the post and comes out. Ben Davies smacks the underside of the bar. They haven't connected with. There was a couple that
Seamus cleared one.
Seamus clears one just after 3 minutes from underneath his own bar. So we're talking about being more solid. I've seen people going, great that we were a lot more solid today. We could have been 3-0 down. Last 30 minutes we did, because what happened was Bezic come on and he literally just shut the game down.
Yeah.
He just ended any threat they had. It just finished. It died there until Hollywood's trying back heels in his own box. But other than that, that last half an hour, there was only one team ever going to win it. So I think that's why we probably come out a little bit, because you're thinking we've had chances to win that game against a really, really good side. But
as I say, that's why I was happy though. That to me signal that something can happen.
And you know what? If I had with any confidence that would be the team that started on Wednesday, with the exception of the goalkeeper.
By the way.
Well, we started, you know, Lennon comes in, I always thought he would. It was like a Martinez and Bill production, wasn't it? Lennon starts against his old team.
That's right though.
No, I know.
Because then players have that little...
Should have made him the captain as well.
You give those players that little bit of incentive. It's his old club, and he obviously left there, I won't say under the cloud, but
to be honest though, I think Lennon's been underplayed.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah.
Like, totally underplayed, because, you know, he works hard. All right, well, that's what we all like as Evertonians, don't we? We all fall for someone who works hard. But Lennon's actually got good quality as well. All right, his final ball's not brilliant, but like, I mean, we can't knock his final ball against Tottenham. And you look at, like, all right, Coney is still...
He's garbage, Chris. You can say it on here, mate. You're not in any Hollywood studio now, mate. You can say he's crap.
He's an absolute myth of a left
winger. He's crap. He's crap.
Let him say it.
He's crap. No, I'm giving him a script.
Yeah, he's crap.
See?
Yeah, no.
Do it again with we'll try and gloss it as you say, like a Hollywood film.
We'll put a frame round you.
No, he's not that crap. No, he's dreadful. And putting him in that position, and you know, they're all saying, oh, Lukaku, he drags space for Lukaku, and maybe that was right about 3 months ago, but now it's got to the point where, like, Deulofeu creates. All right, the last few games he's looked a little bit tired, a little bit worn out, but he creates. Lennon does create, and he works hard. I don't know why the two of them can't be in the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously Morales, but that looks like that's a ship that's sailed
that's
forever.
That's just a relationship. That's just not going to get...
That's a Moyes player
It's just not a relationship. That's just... I don't know why.
I was surprised. I was quite surprised. I was amazed, really, at the earliness of the substitutions, which was fantastic to see. Maybe that he did get the Alpang on the head on New Year's Eve. But what I thought was...
Why New Year's Eve?
Because hopefully he was partying and someone threw something at him on the head and he went, I can make subs with, like, more than 5 minutes left of the game.
Still only made 2 though. So
yeah, there's still a third one that he likes to keep back, likes to keep it on edge, on the bench.
He thinks they'll roll over.
Now what he thinks is if we can take the lead in the 94th minute, I'll bring a sub on just to play that extra 30 seconds, see if they can score. Now, in all seriousness, I just thought he might have swapped, might have put Lennon on the left for 10 minutes and put Deulofeu on the right, you know, and just felt it out a little bit rather than make the two. But
wouldn't that mean having 2 wingers?
No, but Lennon
on the pitch.
Lennon. Like me,
no, you're absolutely right.
Me and Chris had a conversation about this off camera. Lennon will work up and down and he'll protect.
What have I told you about having conversations off camera?
It's a good job some of yours are off camera. Because he'll protect Baines, he'll work up and down. And it is, you know, it isn't always about the final ball, but Lennon, he attacks at pace. So he can, if you've got 2 lads supporting Lukaku who are lightning, why not? Why not stretch games?
It is strange, isn't it? Because 12 months ago, Alan Lennon helped turn our season round, you know, with his directness, with his ability. And he never, for me last season, I think we mentioned this on the show, he didn't play on the right like Deulofeu plays on the right. Deulofeu's a proper winger, he gets chalk on his boots, like, you know. He used to tuck inside and allow Seamus to come on the outside of him, and it was almost like a double threat. He almost played like a number 10. He scored his goal against QPR by being inside at pullback. And you do think that, why is he not using them as much? Yes, you've got Deulofeu in there, but why can't you use him on the other side? You know, he can cut in.
And what we seen yesterday as well with Jerry, quite a few times, he was in the middle. We break and look to switch it to the wing, and he was running down with Lukaku, and you're thinking, why aren't you where you should be? You know, and Lennon could have done that. So I think last year he came in when, you know, Lennon came in last year when we were on our knees, weren't we? We were flat, everything was flat. And he started work and he got us result. And we had that 6 wins out of 7 or 5 out of 6. And he was a massive part of that. So we brought him back, and then he just hasn't been anywhere near it. When we've got a left-sided area of the pitch that quite frankly, he's never used.
Yeah.
You think that it'd be worth giving him a little bit of a go up there as well?
It's not even that it's not used, it's exposed by the opposition teams.
Massively exposed. I mean, Baines, we all know how good Baines is, but he's been made to look distinctly average since he's come back. All right, fitness maybe first couple of games, but now, you know, Martinez says he's fit, but he's looked bang average as a left back.
Short and not tight enough.
Short, yeah, he's put a couple of stone on, but he's not closing people down and he's not getting any support, and like it's so obvious to everyone. And every game, you know, as soon as that starting 11 comes out and you see Kone's name, you know, everyone's kicking off. And
going back to your point before, though, there was a time and a place when we did need Kone. You know, you think about the West Brom game. You know, when we were away to West Brom, so many people that night were questioning Lukaku. I mean, I remember seeing some of the tweets and stuff. You know, things people saying to us, and he was saying, Rom, he's nothing. He's a myth. He doesn't work hard. He doesn't score goals. What does he actually do? Kone came on, started linking up the play. You know, he scored one, and then Rom ends up scoring the winner, and suddenly we've come from 2-0 down to win again 3-2, and everyone's like, oh, he needs Rom, and then Martinez is saying he needs to play because he gives him the... And there was games where you could see, couldn't you, that he did need that presence up front with him, and then suddenly I don't even know where it's come from. Maybe it's Big Dunk getting stuck into Rom, I don't know, but something's clicked. And the last few games, you've seen Romelu Lukaku just be the complete striker. I mean, yesterday, the goal, the knockdown, that's something
he wouldn't have done.
Yeah, it would have bounced off him. Or the goal against Stoke,
yeah,
you know,
same ball as well from Cleverley.
It is the same ball, isn't it?
And it's great. But
what that essentially means is that the babysitting days are over. You know, he's not needed.
I think, I mean, Lukaku's gone.
Yeah,
probably for him. That was probably me tweeting you that night because I'd had my operation. I was off my cake, probably.
You were off your cake. You were. The DMs were amazing.
Oh, unbelievable. But that night, since about October, he's gone. I think the derby, that's when I think it was. You know, when he went up with the other myth who plays for that lot.
Sacco.
You know, can't kick a football. Makes Murray look like he can kick a ball. That day, Lukaku just squared up to him and had them off in that second half. And ever since then, he kind of sort of went, you know what, I can play this role of being a big bully. Kone, if he's going to be in to help him, either comes from the bench with half an hour left and goes in what I would regard as the number 10. I hate using that stupid expression, but the split striker, I would call it, because that's really what it is. Just off Lukaku, central, but still having the width. Because you stick him out on the left. Baines has come back in. Galloway, the other day against Stoke, at fault for the first 2 goals. Yeah. Mainly because he had no one. He had Kone doing whatever.
He's halfway up the pitch.
Up the pitch, right? So they had Shaqiri and Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson loves going, can't defend the kid, bless him. But he loves going forward. And then yesterday, they've got Kyle Walker, who, if you look at them, they had the 2 centre-halves, Vertonghen and, I'm going to call him Toby because everyone says his name, 80-12.
Alderweireld.
That isn't how they say it. So, Alderweireld. We call him whatever you want. I'd call him Toby. They had them 2 there, but Eric Dier come and sat in and made it a 3 all the time. Kyle Walker was like a right forward. Yeah. At times supposed to be there right back.
Was that James Coleman?
And Baines.
The old James
Coleman. Yeah. But they had 2 coming down Baines' side all the time. And it was only about 5 minutes before the end of the first half that Kone actually went and helped them out a little bit and got us out of it all. But you can't leave someone that exposed. You know, when Bezic come on and he pushed Cleverley out there, that was shut off then. I don't think Kyle Walker got forward again then for the rest of the game because he knew he couldn't really get past Cleverley. He'd have someone tracking him, and it's basic. We're sat here going, these are the little, you know, and he might love Cone. Look, we know he loves Coney, but there's a time and a place. Like we said, he's been useful. No, but he's been...
Wigan about 4 years ago,
He's been...
That was the time, and that was the place.
Yeah. He's great against us, and you know, the cup. But he's been useful, and he still will be useful. Yeah. But it's how I view the Tim Howard situation. There's a time when players are struggling, and they need you to help them out. And Howard's having that.
And then there's the MLS.
Yeah. Howard is having it at the moment, and Aruna Kone is having it at the moment. They need pulling out, and
even just for their sake as
that's
well.
It. That's what I'm
manager,
talking about. Protecting
them. You know, protect the player a bit. I mean, Tim Howard. People are getting on Kone's back, but he's not turning around to the crowd and, you know, being sarcastic or having a go. Like Tim Howard, have confidence, have arrogance. You know, confidence in yourself. Great, you need that as a footballer, especially as a goalkeeper. But the fans, whether or not they're right to have a go on like him catching the ball, don't turn around and do that. you're not helping yourself, and then go and make a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Like in Stoke.
He loves it. I would love it though. I would love it. He did it again yesterday, and he loves it. It's all part of the.
But it's cheaper.
It's all part of the bravado. I know.
Chris is right. Yesterday, he hadn't done anything wrong in the crowd. It was 5 minutes in, he caught across, and everyone cheered. But for me, I just think if he's got the presence of mind to throw a ball out and turn around and clap, his mind's not on the game. He's listening to, and you've got to shut the crowd. He knows what is he, 406 or something. He's been around.
He's not that old.
405.
I thought you were on appearances then. I was going to say.
No, he's 30 odd, and he has 36. Or
well, we shouldn't have moved on to. I didn't even want to talk about Tim. I didn't even want to. I was like, can we get the American viewers back? Listen, we've got scarves with American USA on.
Listen, disclaimer.
We do like yous.
Disclaimer. Tim Howard was not at fault for the goal yesterday. He didn't really do anything apart from.
Played all
his
right.
Superman punch was amazing.
His flappy punch second half.
No, his Superman punch was amazing though. Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. In fact, I want someone to make a meme where he's like punching like a cruise missile or something with an eagle on his shoulder. Let's make it fully American. You know what I mean?
Tim Howard wasn't at fault for anything yesterday, but he just, if it was me,
right,
but if I was just manager,
can we get back to Slag and Coney?
I'd be saying, just don't get involved with
Can
the
we get
crowd.
back to Slag and Coney now?
Yeah, Coney needs a rest.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of them there that need a rest over like last 20 minutes. Going back to the substitution thing, you know, made those 2 early substitutions, and it was great to change the game for us, and we started looking like we were going to win the game. Then you've got Barkley, Lukaku, Kone, even Cleverly. No, not Kone. Kone came off, but Cleverly especially, and Barry, who were absolutely knackered.
Barry
You leave Lukaku, you leave Barkley, they're going to attack. But Barry and Cleverly were like on the last legs, and he didn't really have the options on the bench there for that position.
But this is what we've said this before as well. That's when you want Kone. That's when you need him. Because there's no other strikers on the bench. Kevin Kilban was on match of the day, and he's like pointing out all the players on and going, "What have these players done? You know, they haven't done enough." And I'm sitting there going, "They don't play. Never mind." He actually said, "For me, Bessie just hasn't done enough this season." What's it? What are you? He doesn't play. That's why he hasn't done enough. Yeah. No, you're supposed to be an Everton fan trying to back us up on the media. Good job with you. No, that's what he should be there for. And you're right. The third sub probably should have happened, but the subs were good. And you know, you go back to they were early enough that they had an effect on the game. And as I said, the team that finished the game, that's the team I'd like to have started it. I think Bessage, people have this weird phenomenon. Like he's really not good. But he's actually, you know, going back to, remember when he had his debut in the Porto testimonials, first touch was like he tackled someone by backheeling away from them, and it was just like,
dragged it back,
you know,
it's a 40-yard ball.
You know, you've seen him yesterday, and he's always trying to be inventive. He gets it back, he's always trying to move. You know, you've seen his volley. You know, he's
how frustrated he was when he never got the ball back off Barkley as well, when he played the 1-2s down the line, and he ran away.
When he went over to Stones, and he just grabbed them, went, that was great sort of thing, you know, keep doing it, you know. This is something we don't talk, we always say, where's the captains, where's the leaders?
Where's the leaders?
You know, I seen in the second half yesterday, Lukaku's getting pulled in the box. Now, might not mean a massive penalty shout, but where's the people running around going, you know, and 5 minutes later, Ross took an elbow in the face, and no one said anything. Other clubs are getting free kicks and penalties because they harassed them. Bessage was the only one I seen yesterday who was prepared to harass him. And the best thing he did was, it seemed like a harder tackle than it was, but he hit Lamela, didn't he? And the whole of the crowd was like, yes! You know, there was that feeling about it. And he's one of those players that I love to watch. He is what we like at Everton. He is someone who'll get stuck in, who'll work hard.
That's what, remember it's nothing mythical now, isn't it? The Phil Neville challenge on Ronaldo and all that. But you want to see, Roberto Martinez's teams are all very nicey, aren't they? They're all, you know, we pass it round, it's great, and we're exciting to watch. But when the going gets tough, you know, people go McCarthy, he's the one who gets... But James McCarthy, he's not a hard man. He does the legs and he puts things on, but Bezic is someone... Bezic is going to hit someone and he's going to make you jump out your seat, punch you in the air because you're thinking, that's what I'd want to do if I was that. Dele Alli yesterday, I'd have smashed him all over the... He was whinging after a minute, and I'm thinking... Someone go through the back of him, hurt him. He wants to cry. Yeah. Make sure he doesn't finish. And it's just none of that. They were doing it to us. They were throwing all kinds into us. And you're like, they're whinging. They've got 3 men round the referee. Seen that Monday when Arnautovic smashed Delafeu in the face, right? We got the free kick for it. and that was it.
Yeah.
Right? Everton should have had 4 men now, Clattenburg on Monday, and Arnautovic, because Stoke done less on Saturday at West Brom. Lad puts his hand up and he's been sent off for it. Arnautovic was a full forearm smash. We don't do nothing. We just
Lamella
sit
yesterday.
around. Lamella.
The referee counted
5
out,
fouls,
but he counted them out like he was going to book him. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then went, don't do it again. Where was our players getting in that ref's face?
Coleman got
what are you doing?
A couple of them were bad challenges as well. Like and then he got booked later on. You're like, he could have
been off the pitch.
Coleman got booked for a mythical handball.
The first thing.
Was it handball, wasn't it?
It's against
handball,
him.
yeah.
He had his hand
out, but it was
you know,
where are our players when the referee's doing that? Why aren't our players getting around them? Why aren't you giving them a yes?
What I thought was interesting, I think it was against Stoke when they give the John Stones penalty. Alright, that's a different conversation. But Martinez came out and was like, "Oh shit, Seamus Coleman should have had the penalty." And at first I was like, I don't even remember that happening because Coleman might have got up and gone, "I want a penalty." Yeah. But no one else. Well, yeah, but looking back, he could have been given.
What they forget is, and this is what other teams do, and this is what Ferguson used to do at Man United, they rule by fear. It's not about that incident, it's about the next incident. It's about having a go with the referee, the crowd going mad as well, and putting that little bit of seed of doubt that in the next time that happens, I'm going to have to give this. You know, why do people think Man United has a soft touch now? Ferguson had everyone terrified. All right, I'm not expecting that to happen, but just have a little bit of that. Why do people think Liverpool get so many penalties? It's not because they create more chances, or it's because of the aura that gets created at Anfield. Oh, I'm a ref. Oh, these got to win at home. I've got to make sure if there's even a chance of penalty, I'm giving it. It's that little bit of that doubt in someone's mind. We don't do that at Goodison. We need to start. We were too nice.
That's it. Just got to inspire the crowd to do that, haven't you? I mean, as you say, the Phil Neville challenge, that kind of changed the season, didn't it? Because we all went to the match then going, people are going to get stuck in. There's going to be, we won.
You've got to respond. You've got to marry the team's got to marry with the crowd, and at the moment, there is there's factions between crowd over players, even with each other over certain play. Ross Barkley will get derided by a section of the crowd for trying to be inventive. But John Stones will get lauded for taking chances and nearly costing us goals. But he's untouchable.
Right, well, we'll talk about both of them in a minute. We'll talk about both of them in a minute.
I'm going on, not going to name, but you've got to make sure that you're all together. Martinez's first season, and this is going back to when Alan Myers was there as well and interacting with crowd. It seemed like everyone was together and there was a forward movement. We were all in it together with the players. Moyes was great at doing it. He'd get the play, like you just said, the Neville thing, and then everyone at Fellaini would throw tackles in the crowd would be on about. Howard Webb said it's the most difficult place to referee.
But you know what Moyes was great at as well? Moyes was great at pissing us off to the point that we started. Goodison is like it's moany more than anything. You know what I mean? It's like Goodison's moany. We all moan. Everything is a moan. Whereas when Moyes was in charge, and this is not a Moyes Martinez thing, but even like remember that decision he made when he made the sub. And I think it might have been Anachabi, and there was a bit of moaning, and Anachabi had scored or led to a goal, and he got his coat and he ripped it off when he went to the fans. Fucking told you so. Like proper, like he almost made this like he made us almost like hate him at times, but that it was almost like playing to the crowd. It was almost getting the crowd going.
Moyes had a bit more passion though as well, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Moyes used to,
I don't mind that as such. I don't mind us having a calm manager, but Goodison is at its best. We're not a crowd that are going to go with loads of flags and make that atmosphere like certain places pretend they've got. We've got a snide atmosphere.
5-3
and when all the mics
and a 5-5
when all the mics are there. But we make a snide atmosphere. Our atmosphere gets when someone does one of our players wrong, we'll stand up for them. But when we're playing 100 passes that leads to a goal, we will clap politely. You know, we are weird, aren't we? We want to be hate to be loved in a way. There's got to be that little bit of horribleness. So, you know, if you do something horrible like a 2-footed tackle into someone's head, we will stand up and we will applaud you. Or, you know,
I think it's just about creating the right thing. I think people moan because we expect so much. We're desperate to get back to being relevant almost.
But we like aggression, don't we?
No, but what
we like aggression.
We want to see players. I don't want to see players going out getting players threatened off. I want to see it meaning something to players. And I don't think there's enough players in this current Everton side where I know that it means something to them when we win. I'm not saying, we've seen when Cleverley scored, how much it meant to them. Yeah. But I want to see that reaction when it's a penalty and we don't get it. Like, you're talking about the Coleman one the other day. I was booting the seat in front. Sorry to the fella if he's there, but it was a stonewall penalty. Coleman got up, went like that. Everyone else was just like pulling socks up and jogging. And I'm going, it's a penalty. Yeah. Liverpool would have had 10 men round there, or United, or people go round the referee. Chelsea refereed the games for them. We don't have anyone. Yeah. And Bezic, come on, yesterday, started snapping people. Asking the referee for things.
He doesn't actually snap anyone either.
No, I don't mean snapping. I just mean aggressive. Fully committed.
He's aggressive.
And he puts one through to Lukaku, who should have, if he'd have took it out, he should have done, he was in. And he's walking away screaming at the air and he's punching the floor.
He punched the floor when he got injured against Chelsea. He took chunks of the floor because I've seen him give away corners and go mental at himself. He's got that thing. He's got
desire and will to win.
Desire, yeah.
But it's pure passion, and it's not fake hard. It's not like not Gravison.
No, it's not Tommy.
It's not Gravison fist pumping. It's proper passion. He's got his own name tattooed on his neck. Who the fuck's gonna mess about with him? Do you know what I mean? Have you seen his dad?
That's what we're missing now, innit? Like Jagielka for me, he's not a captain. You know what I mean, he's not a captain of this club.
He's an old school captain.
No, but it's a bit
dignified.
He's
dignified.
He's like Brian LeBone captain.
He's good to have around the dressing room and all that, but he's not an inspirer, is he? Gareth Barry's come in, and I like Gareth Barry, but he's not a captain.
To be fair, and you're not old enough to remember this, but we've never had any captains like that, to be honest. In my lifetime, we've never. But what we've always had...
We had the Rat.
What we've always had
Kevin Ratcliffe.
Is a Peter Reid. We've always had a Barry Orne. We've always had a Joe Parkey.
Duncan Ferguson.
We've all... He did, but he wasn't someone...
Watson was naughty.
But he wasn't someone...
Ratcliffe was worse. Kevin Ratcliffe was naughty.
What I mean is, though, they weren't fist pumpers. He
isn't a fist pumper. Ratcliffe would sort you that. If you went up with Ratcliffe, you'd just see the forward laying on the floor. You wouldn't know.
But what I'm saying is, though, we didn't have we've never had fist pumping captains. Like Ferguson maybe, but he wasn't a fist pumper. He was more just a fist in your face. Captain.
But it's not about Jagielka coming out and going out to the crowd. It's about him doing it to the team before.
Which he might do, mightn't he?
Inspiring, but
he might do. But what I'm saying is,
he
doesn't appear to. No, that's a very fair point. But what I'm saying is, though, you need sometimes a player in the team that hasn't got any responsibility. Yeah. He doesn't have, you look at a captain now and it's all about, they know the ref and they're the ones who have to go and talk to the ref when someone else has had the kick-off. Now, there's a problem there because that person can't be the kick-off merchant himself. That's the PR of football now, unfortunately. That's the way football's gone. That's probably why we're getting so many captains who are goalies, because they're out of the trouble. You need that player who is a loose cannon. He is snide. He's getting chased by the busies now as we speak. There is that. You need that horrible. And for me, Besic is that player. And I think some people may not agree. You might not agree. Sometimes you can have a player who's not. There might even be someone who's better than them. But just that extra bit of passion and that extra bit of snide keeps the other fella out the team.
But I think for me, Besic, I had a discussion before the game yesterday. And people tweeting like, why the fans want Besic in the team? He's rubbish. And I'm like, what are you basing his rubbish on?
What have you seen? What have we seen of him, really?
When I've ever seen him, he's always been decent for me. He's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good. He just hasn't played anywhere near enough games. And yesterday, for me, it was the case in point. He come on against a very good side and he shut them down. He actually looked a lot stronger as well. He looked like he beefed out a bit and he needed that, I think, for this league.
And I think he's been... Well, he probably has been watching a lot of football as well, because I don't know what else he's been doing, because he's been fit for about 6 weeks, because he played against Ireland, didn't he, in the qualifiers. So he's been fit. He's been sitting there. And I'll tell you what, I'd rather have him on, and no disrespect to Osman, but if Osman's coming on in games, Besic should be coming on them same games. All right, there's some games where you need that extra little bit of composure, but if you want someone to come on the pitch and really change the way you're playing, Besic, for me, can do that all day long. You need, in that midfield, you need two destroyers, really. If Everton, you're as gung-ho as what Everton are, and your centre-halves aren't nasty, then you need someone in there to go alongside Gareth Barry to help him out, because obviously his legs will catch up with him. And when McCarthy's not there, even though Cleverley's done okay in it, Besic is the one to do it. And it's about putting him in his proper position. I mean... He started against Chelsea on the left side as a whatever he was supposed to be, a left midfielder, and ended up getting injured. But
I saw enough yesterday that would suggest he needs to play the next 6 to 8 weeks and have a look at him. And then after 6 to 8 weeks, if he's not doing it, then you can say, you know, maybe he's just a squad player or whatever. But for me, he would say...
There's a lot of games as well that he can play in now, isn't there? We've got a lot of games coming up now.
I mean, let's talk about the goal, because the goal was fantastic, wasn't it? Lovely back heel by Baines. Laser pass by Cleverley. You know, and
Cleverley, I was speaking more Cleverley and saying, like, compared to McCarthy and what he offers, McCarthy probably does a lot more running and breaking things down that you don't always see. With Cleverley, you know, he still tries that and he still does a bit of it, and his creativity going forward, I think he's very underrated. Like some of the passes, I mean, the 2 goals there, you know, Lukaku against Stoke and this one against Tottenham, the same ball, he's picked it out, and that's what Rom's been dying for. Rom says, go more direct, and Cleverley goes, oh yeah, I'll pick it out. And it was fantastic. I mean, and Lennon's finish.
That was a great
done so well because it was on the way up, wasn't it? Yeah. So well just to keep it at that level.
A fantastic goal, you know, and that should be applauded because it makes a mockery almost of 500 passes to move forward, doesn't it? Because it was then bang bang.
Both goals, weren't they? Both goals were the same. These
were
the same. I mean, it was another long ball. Okay, as we said, Coleman probably could have done better. The lads took it brilliantly on his chest and volleyed in. It proved, you know, 2 we're probably more ultra, but 2 passing sides, and they scored that, and both goals were fantastic.
I've got to say, I done a video yesterday. I blamed John Stones for the goal. I've watched it again. I thought, when I done my video, I'd only seen it once, and I thought, when I was looking at it, I thought he let this away. And when it went over behind him and he's in, I just thought, what's he done? When I've seen it again, it was too high for him to head. If I've got anything negative to say, probably should have been 5 yards further back. However,
I would have had them 5 yards further forward.
Or forward, so that it was just that he didn't react. But Coleman has got to...
He's either got to leave him and let him go offside, or he's got to keep going with him.
He runs and he kind of hesitates. It's a great touch. It is a good goal.
He does the Al Gaza 96.
But he kind of hesitates, doesn't he? And it's like, and then it's gone because Ali's ahead of him then, and you know it's a great.
It's the same goal again, no. That's you look. It was Galloway did against Stoke
as
well.
Exactly the same. It's a switch,
and that's you've got to question: is that the line not doing its job, not staying together, or is it something else?
But the thing is, though, they're both full-backs, and they can see right across, whereas the centre-backs will have been told, we are a team that predominantly plays high because that we can push the team. There's no point having the back 4 too deep because then you've got back 4, midfield, and then you've got your whole team stretch. You can't do that. That's the way Martinez wants to play. But your full-backs have got to be switched on. They've got to keep the line. And Seamus does it all the time, to be fair. He always runs after the man. He never has, excuse me, he never has the confidence in the line, ever. I mean, the amount of time, he's done it loads of times.
When you're defending like that, your line should be an arc, really. That's how it should be. It should never be a square line, because then you get caught square. It should be almost an arc, so your 2 full-backs should be a couple of yards ahead of your centre-backs, because they're your eyes, your centre-backs are your eyes. So if Coleman has stepped up a couple of yards further ahead, and Dele Alli runs in behind him, John Stones can see that and can maybe go with him. But when you look at it again, Coleman does hesitate. Stones, I don't think he realises where the ball's going, to be honest, because it's that hard. And he's in off him. And it is a good goal, and you do have to go. You know what? He took it brilliantly.
It was a great finish,
But it's just frustrating.
Couldn't even blame Howard this week.
No blame.
As much as we'd like to.
No blame to
no blame with Tim Howard.
But the second half, you know, we've had chances at the end. Lukaku should have done better with the one he lashes over. You know, that's hit the target at least.
Yeah, just make the keeper work
so
for that
frustrating.
one.
The other one where he faces him up at injury time, and it's shock.
As well as he played yesterday, when he came on, Delafeu just doesn't half wind me up. Because I was saying this the other day about us winning penalties, and I actually pointed out one of the reasons we don't win penalties is because we don't run at people in the box. You don't have to look at Vardy's penalty from the weekend. He gets in front of the defender and he just keeps running and he just waits to be taken down. Whereas Delafeu gets in the box and then just stops dead. He just stands them up. And he's only going one way because he's got no left foot. Yeah. He's got no... I mean, he doesn't even try to go with his left foot.
There was one yesterday where all he had to do was come inside and try and hit that shot off with his left, and he'd done exactly the same. Stopped and went for the byline.
But can you imagine how fast you would have to be to beat a player? Not only you've got to beat the player, but you've got to beat the line as well, because you've only got 5 yards between you and the line. But how fast you'd have to be to knock that ball.
He can do it, but the thing...
It takes a hell of a lot.
No, but the thing what you've got to do as a winger like that is you've got to be unpredictable. So, as a full-back, after the first 2 times he's done it, like, he's going to stand me up. Yeah, he's not going to come inside. So you're almost show him inside, because you know that, you know, he's not going to do it because he wants to go on the outside. Whereas, like you said, when he gets the sprint,
just
he
keep
should
going.
run across,
Keep going.
run across them, and then any
Across
touch.
the box.
But I think he did it once. And the time he did it, he clipped it in, and it's the one that just went over Rom. He had Baines on the outside.
Could he have headed that?
No, I think it just went over his head.
I thought from where I was, it looked like he didn't want to.
No, he actually,
that's what
he
I
actually
said.
had Baines.
Almost
It was actually
box out.
Baines. It must have been from a corner, and he actually had Baines
Right,
on
he
the
rolled
outside
it
of him, and he
and
left
whipped it in.
Baines, and he took the defender on, and he beat him, and he just clipped it in like he does, and it just, I don't know
where past him. I think Rom ducked
I don't know
out
whether,
of it.
but that proves that he can beat anyone with pace. So why does he keep standing people up? It's so frustrating. And going back to the penalty shout, if you're running a full pace and someone touches you, then you can fall over.
Yeah.
But if you're standing still and fall over, you're just not going to get a penalty ever. It's so much easier to defend, and that's something that, you know, I'd like to see him start doing, because it's so frustrating. He's never going to come in on his left foot. So,
But you think he would, wouldn't you? At once, just hit it. He scored that goal against Stevenage in his first season when he come inside and passed it in, didn't he? So.
But I just thought second half, we just shape-wise, defensively, we just look so much better. And we, to be fair, first half, we did try and stop a lot more crosses. We did try and get men behind the ball, but it was almost like, well, we've scored now, so we're going to sit back.
Closed Harry Kane down.
No,
First half was.
but that was quite early, though. I think once we got the goal.
Even in the second half, when like John Stones and Morey both started to like anticipate the ball, you didn't let them have the second touch. I mean, they got up Kane's arse and really got behind him. And
But that's because,
that was a lot
for
better,
me,
though.
that's because they had a player sitting in front of them who was prepared to go left, right, left. I mean, Besic, he's down at right back. He's having shots. He's linking up in the midfield. Barry, I said this last week, he's great and he's doing fat, but he's slow. So he can't cover. Besic was everywhere. And that's what helped them too.
I thought Morey was brilliant second half, because what he done first half, he was kicking like a toddler.
What have we said in the last few weeks, though, about Morey and Stones, about running into that space in front of them? They didn't have to in the second half because Besic was in that
but what
space.
Morey done was, and on Harry Kane, he just went up, and what he started doing, I'm saying this
Snide.
at half time. Well, just getting in, facing him up, went through him a couple of times, married up, and that Harry Kane disappeared. He just disappeared off the face of the earth.
But did you? I don't know if you noticed. We're going to talk about John Stones, but I don't know if you know. Did you notice? What?
Hasn't got the beard though.
He hasn't got the beard because he's not a man.
He's one of their own, apparently.
He is one of their own.
Arsenal tattoo.
I'll tell you what.
According to Robbie.
Did you see him the amount of times John Stones and Morey tried to do it as well? And this was one of this has got to be taken out the side. The amount of times that Stones and Morey got the ball, went on a run, and then give it, and then kept trying to follow the run on.
Yeah,
and you were like, "What are you doing? Go back!"
Out the two, I'd rather Stones do that. I
He
think he's got the ability to carry
I know,
on.
but don't you think that's one of our biggest problems? Like Stones
Don't
follow it,
expose,
just go back,
Getting
and go,
dragged out, don't
go back into defence, and just remember what you've been doing in the last few weeks.
Well, he's done that loads the last few weeks, though, Stones, just getting dragged out of position.
Yeah.
That's Stoke again, the whole goal it was.
The second goal it
The
was.
second goal, and he got dragged out.
Oh, it was
the
the
first
first.
one.
It was
the
the
first
first.
one, yeah.
Second
And he
one
got
he
dragged
gave
out.
away.
And then Morey had to come across from Galloway, and they both got
He
beat
was
on the
all
run.
over the place, yeah.
And
Yesterday he was doing it off his own back.
yeah.
He wanted to attack, and you're just thinking, this is exactly what's wrong with this team. Everyone.
You know what I hate when Tim Howard's got the ball and they pull wide and he says that long, and then he gives them the ball and you've got a man on him, and then
he has to give it back,
but he gives it to
and then
Morey,
he boots it.
and Morey's like that with that, and you're thinking,
there's got to come a point, though, hasn't there? Like, fair enough, start the game like that. I played for a couple of teams, and I'd be in the keeper, they'd say, go short. And I'd be like, all right, but after a while, you can't, because teams just go, all right, he's going to go short. So you go short twice, and then teams go, all right, he's going short. So then you have to go long. So why even...
you've got to mix the whole
waste
thing.
that time.
Souness was saying this
in
yesterday
that
on the TV. I was rewatching the match. Always interesting to hear what they think of us. Like, and he was saying just like for the first 10 minutes, he said, you know, I don't know if this was a sly thing. He said, but you know, he went. Well, it was. He went. We used to win European trophies for fun. That's what he said. And he said, never would we in the first 10 minutes play like nice little short balls into feet. He said, because that just, everyone's pumped up. He said, that just gives the opposition a reason to smash into you. He said, for the first 10 minutes, we'd just go long and see what they had. And then we'd settle the game down and get on with it. And it's like that, we're doing these nice little goal kicks. Everyone split. And you just think, and then you've got players running around on pure adrenaline for the first 10 minutes. Goes back to Howard. Howard has to put his foot through it.
And your heart's in your mouth as well, because like they're playing triangle football between Barry, Morey and Stones. And, you know, you're playing it on the edge of your own box.
Let's talk about heart in your mouth football, Baz. Something that you alluded to before. John Stones, 89th minute, Cruyff turns in his own box, discuss.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
5-0 up.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, do it. But for me, just defend. He had 3 opportunities to clear his line.
Is that not the John Stones school of defending?
Doing Cruyff's on your 6-yard box.
Yeah.
What if Lamella throw pokes it, which he had a chance to, and I wouldn't have put it past it going in? But you'd be sitting here saying
I'm asking the questions.
For me, he's there to defend.
Okay.
If you're an Everton fan and you're made up with that and you want to overlook how we're giving goals away at the moment and you just want to see someone who's good on the ball, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I like my defenders to defend. I don't like them doing Johan Cruyff turns in the box in the 89th minute against a very good side when you've got them on the rack a bit and it's 1-1, you're trying to win the game. And I understand he's going to take chances. I've got no problem with him dropping shoulders and trying to take a chance because that's the way he plays. And I love the way he does that. But there's a time and a place. And B, there's no one when to dribble.
Okay.
And I've seen people go, well, he didn't want to give it to Howard because Howard couldn't kick it.
Okay.
Then that's
Chris?
his own problem.
I didn't enjoy it either, to be honest. I think late on in games, Stones is like, all right, whether it was a penalty or not against Stoke, I still think the referee probably made the right decision. Don't give him the option. Do you know what I mean? Flying in late on, don't give him the option in the box. All right, whether it was or whether it wasn't. Again, playing that type of football when we're also trying to attack. And we'd done well out of long balls. You know what I mean? We started, like, Murray kicked the ball up a few times and Ron was getting onto it. And you're thinking, all right, we're trying to attack here, you know, we still want to win the game. All right, after the first 10, you're like, all right, clear it now on your left foot, clear on your right foot, clear, and you think, you know, he can. And he's beaten the fellow well. But again, like, I don't think it was a foul either. I don't think it was a foul. I thought he was lucky to get the foul.
He had the handful. Well, he sort of was tugging on his shirt.
But not like, I mean, I've seen worse not giving him in, and I was thinking, he got himself into a situation where if he hadn't given the foul, he would have took it, Lamella, and who knows?
I mean, being at the game, I was sitting there going, what are you doing? Like, just put your foot through it. I can see what Stones was doing he bought the foul and he knew he was going to get the foul. But that's, I mean, for us to sit, that's really hard as a fan to sit there.
Trying to buy a foul on you.
I know. Listen, I know. And I can understand, but then I can understand what John Stones was thinking. I don't want to just give the ball back to them if I don't get it long enough. So there's that mentality. But then, as you say, it's the last minute of a game. We've all got in our heads. Yeah, we lost in the last minute against Stoke. We lost Leicester beat us recently as well. We don't want to lose this one as well. So
there's a time and a place.
There is a time and a place.
I think that's one thing Stones has got to learn. I think he's obviously a brilliant footballer and he's going to be world class. He needs to improve on his defending and his positions and stuff. But maybe that's because we've had a bit of a up and down defence. You know, I mean, we haven't had the shape hasn't been there and things like that. And he's feeling that he's missing Jags a little bit. Because Jags, you know, he's not a great footballer, Jags, but he's a very good defender and he holds Stones in position a little bit better.
It's interesting. No one really took him to task over it, which is another sort of, I suppose, element of this side. There was no one in the team who had a go at him for doing it. No one, and I don't know whether they feel like they can't have a go at him because he's this little precious thing, or because no one felt. Because that's another thing. You get the feeling that no one in the side actually probably felt that was the wrong thing to do, just because of the Martinez way of doing things.
That's it. I think it's so instilled in them, isn't it? You know what I mean? Play football, enjoy yourself, play football. And I don't think anyone in the team has a go for anyone. Also, how many times has John Stones done that to them in training and got away with it? You know what I mean? That they've probably just gone, oh, that's just John. That's John.
John. That fella.
Stonesy, that's just Stonesy just, taking the piss, and he's going to get the ball away eventually.
To be fair, when I rewatched it wasn't. Do you know, like when you were there, it felt like it was like the longest spell ever when he was doing that. But when I rewatched it, it wasn't actually that long. So it almost feels like. But I know. I'm just trying to. But what was funny though is when he like told the crowd to calm down. You know, he was like mouthing to himself, and he wasn't happy. Like he wasn't happy with the crowd at all. When they were, but
so no one's allowed to.
No,
have you got to like as a player though? Have you got a right to be annoyed with the fans? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think.
If you know as a team you've got to think of it as a team, haven't you? If you haven't been playing well, you haven't been getting the results, it's been frustrating as anything. The individual performances haven't been there, there's been mistakes in every game. Have you got a right to have a go at the fans? For anything?
No.
Tim Howard is completely wrong to even look at the fans. As you said, he's not paying attention. John Stones is completely wrong to have a go at the fans.
Well, as you said...
Unless they come out in an interview afterwards and go, I think it's a disgrace from the fans, and then you go, well,
like you said before,
but
the manager really should be telling the players, don't get involved. Just don't get involved. They're there, you're here. You play the game one way, they see it from another way. Just don't get involved with the fans. You know, whether that be celebrating last minute goals at Bournemouth or you know, clapping them. Just don't get involved with them.
It's not. Listen, you can say like he's not happy with the crowd because the crowd have had a go there, but we don't want to lose the game. We lost the game because I haven't heard him come out and go, did he do an interview on Tuesday to say, I'm sorry for wrecking everyone's Christmas for diving in? No, I don't. And people will go, you know, because he is untouchable in some fans' eyes, which is bizarre. You know, we'll see if it's the same in May when the transfer request goes back in, but he's a great defender.
Oh, you cut like a knife.
No, but it winds me up the way some players are bulletproof and they'll slag others off. It's embarrassing, really. But the crowd pay the money and they're entitled to have an opinion. And if you're picking up very healthy money for a young man in a country where there's 500 food banks and people haven't got carpet or food and everything else, then I don't think you've got any.
But that's what I'm saying.
You can't say a word.
Should that come from the manager? Because it's happened now with Tower, then it's happened with him. Well, the manager should be saying to him,
he could, you know, if he'd have turned round and gone, or, you know, something like that, the crowd would have gone, you don't turn around and give it all that as if, like, we win 5-0 every week. Yeah. This is the first time I've done it. He's been at fault for loads of goals lately. You can't. Don't get involved. End of story. Just get on with it. Be professional. And I know what'll happen. People will come on going, he's only a young lad. If
Tim Howard's 36 though. Do you know what I mean? Tim Howard, like,
it's all about Tim Howard with you, isn't it,
all I'm saying, I had to go to him last time I was on as well, but all I'm saying is, like, as you're saying there, the manager should come down to the manager. Yeah. Tim Howard done it last week. All Martin has to say is just go, just don't get involved. And he'd come out and done it again, and you're like,
he did go again.
Is Martinez even aware of this? Because it's like the obvious thing to do, isn't it? I mean, you manage your team and you tell them what to do, and
I just think it's good if it's good enough. If people are good enough to have a go and moan about Tim Howard doing it, then John Stones falls into the same category. He can't say it's acceptable for Tim Howard. It's not acceptable for Tim Howard to do it, but it's okay for John Stones to turn around and go calm.
Fans have the right to voice their opinions, as long as they don't.
No one booed him. I didn't hear anyone boo
Listen,
him.
I mean, we're not into the realms of Sylvan Distan trying to find people in the galaxies here. By no means have we gone that far, yeah. But even that was proof that these players under Martinez do have almost as much control to do what they want. I mean, that was bizarre, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. And he done it a couple of times as well. He looking for him a couple of times.
You know, you think we want that relationship. We want them and us. You know, it's not them and us. We want to be all together. And I was only messing with the Bournemouth thing. I mean, that to me was brilliant. And you want fans celebrating.
You seen them at Newcastle, how they all got involved. That's fantastic. But you've got to accept that at times as supporters. You're gonna groan, or you're gonna be like, just kick the ball. We're not in. If we'd have been on a great run, then we'd all probably see it a bit differently. You'd probably be like, oh, Stonesy, you dragging balls back in your box. But at the moment, we're 11th, and they should be embarrassed where they are at the moment.
When we were 2-0 up against Chelsea and he was doing them, we were all made up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's the difference.
But you know, we can go back just over 12 months to QPR, you know, when they were keeping the ball and passing it back, and the crowd were booing, and these Martinez is coming out going, got to learn when we're 3-1 up. They were booing at that time because the frustration and because we haven't been doing what we should be doing. And Evertonians go on about this is the greatest side we've had since '85. Well, you know, the '85 side, they knew how to close games out. There was none of this stuff. From this side is sitting 11th in the Premier League, where Watford and people like that are above Leicester and miles above. It's, you know, I'd be embarrassed if I was.
It's weird. Like, I think it's the best squad I've seen.
That's what I'm saying.
It's definitely the best, like, quality-wise. And
so where should we be, Chris?
I've been saying that for a few years, though. You know what I mean? It's like every year, except for last year, Alcaraz and stuff being like the fucking distant and the difference. But where should we be? Well, we're 11th, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? That's exactly where we should be.
We finished 4th with.
I like Martinez, but I'd love him to just get a defensive coach. Do you mean even just make that step? I know, right, if we're still crap, then you go, all right, it's the players, but you got to look at it and go, this is good quality here. Why aren't we doing
Someone
it?
mentioned, and it was a really good point actually, someone on Twitter was saying, like, why don't we get, or it might have been in a little piece someone wrote, why don't we get someone like Kevin Ratcliffe in, who's been, he's won everything, our most decorated, might have been Stan Collymore, our most decorated captain. Get him in. He was one of the best defenders I've ever seen, purely because of his pace. He wasn't a wonderful footballer, but he was hard as nails. He knew how to defend. Get him in and just go, right, this is Kevin Ratcliffe. We love bringing our old players back. There he is. And you're going to work with the defence, even if it's 2 days a week. Let Bobby do all the sexy stuff going forward, which he does really well, because we are brilliant going forward. When people ask me on Twitter, where am I with Martinez, I want him to just sort the defence out. Everything from the halfway line onwards is fantastic. And he's brought great players and he's done loads of good stuff. But the defence can't continue to leak goals the way it is.
I completely agree. And there's literally one man I'd go and get. It's David Weir. I'd go and get him. I believe a lot changed when he left the club, put it that way, from the defensive coaching. That's someone I would go and get. I would just go and get him. I know he's the assistant manager at Rangers, and I would go and offer him the assistant manager's job at Everton, because I just don't think it's working. And I think he won't get sacked, because he just won't. He just won't. No, I mean, no matter how bad it gets, he just wouldn't get sacked by it. We don't sack.
Unless these new owners take over. Do you know what I mean? If that happens.
Dun dun dun.
Chris has been in Hollywood.
Chris is in Hollywood. He's in LA. He knows more. He knows.
No, but you're right. If the club did get sold, then new people come in and
pressure.
And the businessmen, aren't they?
It's different.
Yeah. But I think someone like Weir come in and do that job. Yeah. No problem. Last sort of, again, Ross Barkley. Yesterday, divides opinion. I don't know why he divides opinion, because I thought he had a good game. But some people, I don't know, don't necessarily see it. But I see it. I think you see it.
I think he's playing well. I think the thing with Ross Barkley is if he had a bit less skill, people would laud him for what he does. But I think the problem is we know that he is Zinedine Zidane-ish.
I quoted that. But this comes from...
People talked about it for ages.
This comes from Carragher saying he would rather have Dele Alli, who obviously is this month's superstar, than well, he didn't say he'd rather have it. What he said was that he's gone surpassed Ross Barkley.
I've got to be honest.
Didn't Jamie Carragher have an Everton tattoo though? And then
Still has.
The point being, without rubbing that in, the point being is that, I've spoke about it today. People say, oh, well, Dele Alli's only been around for like 6 months and he's already better than Ross. And it's like,
in what way?
Well, number one, how is he better than Ross? And number two, why can't they just both be good players? Number three, I don't even think they're the same kind of player just because they play in similar positions.
Has he got more goals or assists than Ross?
I don't think he has, no.
No, he hasn't. So that's a ridiculous... It's a Tottenham player again, innit? Play for Spurs, you Pele, according to the press. Who listens to what Jamie Carragher says, by the way? Jamie Carragher, say the name to yourself.
Well, he's about 9 notches up from Jamie Redknapp.
Listen, stay. They can sound fellas 100 notches up from Jamie Redknapp.
I see what you mean about dividing opinion, though. Like, I think what it is Barkley last season was so bad. Like, obviously he's growing. You know what I mean? That first season, he kind of came through and he had a few good games, and then he went missing, and then he came back and played well in the season we finished 5th, and then went missing completely last season, and he was frustrating, and it was annoying to watch. This season, he's been a lot better. He's been massively improved. I think he looks stronger. Yeah. He looks a lot better. His decision making has improved so much as the season's gone on, and he's starting to look like that player. But he's a luxury. It's why we don't have 2 wingers. Yeah, Martinez says don't come back and defend because you can see Barkley has got the ability to at least track a player. He's not unfit. He can run back, but he doesn't. He stops and he makes that choice.
He's given no responsibility.
That's it.
It's why we don't have. It's simply.
But that's not Barkley's fault.
No, it's not. But it's almost like I don't think we've noticed. A lot of people have noticed his improvement because they see him every week. They see him every week and they just haven't noticed. Where if you have someone who might have watched them once, and then watches him again 4 months later, they will have noticed that Ross... the best way to, I think, as an Everton fan, to look at his improvements is watch his performances for England and watch how better he's got playing for England. I think as an Everton fan, that's the best way to look at Ross Barkley and see his improvement.
I think I disagree just slightly on... I think after the hour yesterday, he'd done exactly what you're saying. He didn't bother running back because he was moved. I think he's been playing a little bit deeper in the last few games, and I think he has tracked. I think he has defended quite well. And he's trying to be more rounded and give and go and get it back. I think once he gets pushed on, he does that. He consciously goes.
But that's where he's better.
I don't have to run back.
I think that's where he's better and more effective for the team when he's pushed forward.
I don't know.
Attacking.
I think he's been... me personally, I think he's been really good this season. He scored a lot of goals.
His consistency level is up there.
I just think we've got... The way I look at it, I just think people have this like thing of him is that he's that good, and he is that good, but he's not always that good. So even when he's dropped down to a level that's good, people think he's had a poor game.
His default setting is much better now than it used to be. He used to have boss games, and
then for me, he's a 7. I give him 7 on the ratings because I thought he played quite... He wasn't brilliant, but he wasn't poor. The default setting now for me is about a 7 for Ross. He
starts to look like he fits, doesn't he? He fits in the team now.
I still don't think he's got a...
He's on the sheet every week without any question. Whereas last season, sometimes you were like, just get him out the team.
I still don't think he's got a exact position, but I don't think that's necessarily his fault. Like, I was having a conversation before with a Spurs fan. We were talking about Dele Alli and him saying, for me, Dele Alli is a Gerrard kind of player. Ross is a kind of Zinedine Zidane, which got much laughs. But for me, that's what I think he's like. He's 22. If anyone knows where Zinedine Zidane was when he was 22, you know, he was nowhere.
Bordeaux, wasn't he?
He was at Bordeaux. He played 35 games, scored 6 goals. There you go. But he's that kind of player. He's not a Gerrard player. Gerrard used to run in straight lines. Barkley is all over the place, and everything's about touch, flair, pass, movement. That's what I seen from Dele Alli, just running diagonals and straight lines. He was really good at it. So was Steven Gerrard. But I think Ross has just got that little bit of X factor. But it won't really quite kick in till he's maybe 25, 26.
I want to know where our scouts missed Dele Alli when they were looking at Brendan Galloway.
I have no idea. They were just fixated to that left back.
Didn't they fail to sign him as well?
They did. Well, actually, Carl Robinson, who used to be a coach at Liverpool, actually told Dele Alli to go to Tottenham because he said he'd have no chance. He would be given no chance at Liverpool, and and he's married to someone who used to be in Brookside. You can't get any more scouser than that, can you? You cannot get any more scouser than that.
And he wears a curly wig and a stash on the weekend.
In fact, on Twitter yesterday, we looked at Liverpool fans. If you're unfortunate to follow any, they were raging about how they missed out on.
That's why I seen it.
Absolutely raging. So there's always that. There's always a silver lining. Always a silver lining. There you go.
Anyway, it was much improved. We didn't lose.
It's
a point closer to
40
safety.
And what's next?
Small matter of a League Cup semi-final, which we'll be talking about in a preview. Chris will be with us. We're just going to eat loads of Jag Mars bars first and bounties. Right, tell us what you think in the comments. Is Ross Barkley the new Zinedine Zidane? And anything else? Can Alan Lennon play every week on the one side and Delafeu on the other side?
Is Jamie Carragher relevant?
Is Kone crap?
Hey, don't be robbing our job.
He can do it nicely. Okay. Do it again. Do it a bit like a Hollywood.
What's a Hollywood?
Is Aruna Kone crap?
See, that's why he's in LA.
Casting couch.
No, straight on there.
You've got no idea what Steve has done on the couch.
On the
that's
casting
all I'm
couch.
saying. Hey, they don't call him sound stay just because of that, you know. Right. Twitter, it is at Toffee TV 1. I feel like the show's been going on for 2 hours. God knows how long it is. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe as well. We're going towards 7,000. Get us there, please. Get us to 7,000. And come back soon for our semi-final preview. See you soon.